So at some point in your life, you have to be really realistic when it comes to your hair and what your hair can go through. So I know right now what's trending is the miracle knots. And it's super cute, very nice DIY hairstyle. But before you get that hairstyle, you need to be very honest with the condition of your hair and your scalp and all that good stuff. Um, and I feel like that with any style. I've been getting a lot of clients inquiring about prices for certain styles, and then once I see their hair condition, I'm just like, it's we're not able to do this hairstyle. And they like, well, I can't get it. I'm like, you can definitely get it, but when it comes to the healthiness of your hair and where I foresee it like going to, how it's going to, if your hair is already thin, I would not recommend miracle knots unless you are getting like large parted braids, like to the point where the braid is at a healthy like braid. And sometimes that means a bigger part. But I feel like that with any style. I know a lot of girls like, I want these little small tribal braids. But it's like, to be honest, what causes tension, alopecia, or just issues in general is it's small braids. And that's just, to be honest, like back in the day when you think about when Zillions came out, so cute. You love the hairstyle, but you lost so much hair just taking out those little bitty braids. So before you get a hairstyle, you need to think about and be honest. I don't care if it's trending. I don't care if it's supersonic cute. You need to be honest with the state of your hair. Like right now, I I took my hair through there. Okay, I've had so many styles over the years. My hair was never really thick, okay? And it's kind of oily, my silk press now. But it never was really thick. But now that I'm aging, and that's another thing, aging, because people always want to know, how am I losing my hair? If you are on any medication or you have any like your diet is off, that will contribute more than it will help contribute to how your hair will be. So if you on medication and it's causing your hair to thin, or you don't eat or drink properly, don't expect extra growth or extra success when wearing a protective style. And don't let your hair already be kind of on a thin finer side. But like I said, I've been wanting a whole bunch of styles that I see trending. But the reality of the state of my hair and what I've allowed on my hair, like what I've done with my hair, because I've took my hair through there. I've had everything you can think of. But now I am 37 years old. And your hair starts to change after 35. I also think that, especially going through peri, if you had a couple kids, sometimes you might go through postpartum shedding and your hair just be thin moving forward. And I think once I had children, my hair definitely got supersonic thin, especially around the perimeter, and it just ain't been the same since I've had children. And I've had them in my 20s. But like I said, I put my hair through that braids after braids after braids after braids. You need to give your hair a break from braids. So I say all this to say, before you get a hairstyle, you need to be honest with the state of your hair, with the healthiness of your hair, meaning like the healthiness of your hair, the state of your diet, if you're on medication, if you are experiencing so much shedding, we shed a lot. But if you're tripling the size of shedding, I would not recommend certain styles. And if you do want a certain trending style and the braids are small, I would go to a consultation to a braider, not an African shop. And no diss to African shops, but they'll braid the little baby hairs on your forehead. Okay. They'll braid anything. You need to really go to a braider that cares about the healthiness of your hair. If you are in the Ypsilanti, Michigan area, I care about that. I will refuse a certain service. I won't refuse the client, but if you want a certain service and I just feel like it's bad for my brand in the sense of I know when you take this out you're going to have a hard time, or when you take this out you may experience more shedding, I will not do the service, because one thing I care about is my brand, and I don't want somebody going and bashing me. And if they just like, well, please, 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 please. It's only been like, I would say, a handful of times that I've went forward, but I made sure and I made it very clear. I don't come for me because you really wanted this hairstyle and you knew the state of your hair was not in the best condition. So let me say it again. I would say I can't do that style. I will say I'm unable to do that style due to I'm caring about the healthiness of their hair. And if they are upset about it, I understand because as Black women, we care about how our crown look, and it's important in a sense of we treat it almost better than we do going to go see a regular checkup because we are the face of who we are and we want to look presentable and feel good about ourselves. But we just have to be honest with, is this hairstyle gonna promote healthy growth, or is it gonna make it more worse off than what it is? So before you pick a hairstyle, you need to really decide if this is healthy or unhealthy for your hair. Think about it like food. You know, when you go have some fried chicken and some fries, it's gonna taste delicious. It's gonna taste real delicious. But is it helping you lose weight, or is it gonna help you gain weight? So that's what you need to think about when it comes to your hair. I just want to hop on here and say that. Sorry it feels so long, but yeah.